Okay, given the graphs of the functions f of x is equal to 2x and g of x is equal to x minus 1, sketch a graph of the combined function y is equal to g of f of x on the axes below. Right, so here we're actually given f of x is equal to 2x, g of x is x minus 1. The composite function g of f of x, or g compose of f, is basically equal to g of 2x. Right, so in this case, g of 2x is basically, if I plug this into x for g of x, we get 2x minus 1. Okay, so technically it's a vertical shift of our parent function, f of x is equal to 2x minus 1, right? So I'm going to just create a table to represent that, our parent function. So this is x, this is f of x is equal to 2x. And I'm just going to plot some points. So this is -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. So f of -2 is basically 2 to the power -2, which is 1/4. F of -1 here is 2 to the power -1, which is 1/2. F of 0 is 2 to the power 0, which is 1. F of 1 here is 2 to the power 1, which is 2. And f of 2 here is 2 to the power 2, which is 4. Okay, so I have a series of points here. Now, because our function here is a vertical shift, 1 unit down, all we have to do really is move all of the points, the y values, by 1, right? So if you're creating a transformation equation using mapping notation, we can understand that if our function f of x has the points x and y, our function g of f of x is going to have the equation x and y minus 1. Okay, so we can take our points here. So we can take our points of f, which are -2, 1/4, -1, 1/2, 0 and 1, 1 and 2, and 2 and 4, and I'm going to subtract 1 to all the y values. So this is g of f, or let's say g compose of f. Right, so this is g compose of f. So we'll have the points -2, 1/4 minus 1 is -3/4. So this is one of our points. We'll have -1 and 1/2 minus 1, which is -1/2. 0 and 1 minus 1 is 0. 1 and 2 minus 1 is 1. And 2 and 4, we're going to get equivalent point 2 and 3. Okay, so all you have to do now is plot these points on the graph here, right? So if we plot some points, I'm going to do -2 and -4. Let's see if we can expand this. So -2 and -4, let's do that here. -2 and -3/4, sorry. So let's say it's like right here. Okay, and then we also have the point -1 and -1/2. So -1 and -1/2, let's say it's like here. 0 and 0, let's say it's here. 1 and 1 is basically here, and 2 and 3 is up here. Okay, so you can kind of connect these points because it is a function. Okay, so we'll use that as our series of points. Okay, oh, sorry about that. I made a mistake here. This is -1 and -1/2, not 1 positive 1/2. And this is 2 and -3/4. Okay, so it should look like that. Okay, so that's our sketch of our function, right? And it's basically our original function shifted 1 unit down. Okay, so it's vertical shift 1 unit down. But you can just kind of refer to these points and plot them to represent the shape of the graph.